So there are three laws which are governing our life: law of reincarnation, law of karma, and law of attraction. Law of reincarnation basically means that we all belong to one energy. Whether you call it nature, God, universe, it's that one big ball of light, and we all are a part of that energy. We chose to come down to the densest plane, which is Mother Earth, to experience what is to have a body. So we parted in fragments and bits and pieces from that big ball of light, and we chose to come down to the densest plane to have an experience of a body. When we parted from that huge big ball of light, we were known to be souls. So we are basically infinity in a nutshell. We are still a part of that big infinite energy, but we are a fragment. So when we came down to the densest plane, we decided that we want to experience everything that is about having a body. So we chose to become a crystal, then a plant, then an animal, and then human. So the journey was from the lowest consciousness to the highest consciousness. Humans obviously being the highest consciousness. Every body type had its own learning and its own experiences. For example, plants were all about giving. As plants, what we learned was to give and give till we died, right? So this experience of learning and understanding what it is to be a body continued till the human body cycle started. Everything was on autopilot mode. Eat, sleep, reproduce. The moment we were humans, we started going through a certain evolution which was specifically spiritual, specifically soul evolution. Not the body, but the soul started evolving. So it had 7 stages. Soul evolution has 7 stages, and the first stage is infant soul. Second is baby, young, mature, old, transcendental, and infinite. So this is like a graduation program for the soul. It starts when you have the cerebral capacity to think, which is only in humans. So the moment you come into a human body, the first stage as a soul that you experience is infant soul state. Now imagine a lion dying and coming into this world as a human. How will he process world? Obviously, it has got to be absolutely survival oriented. I, me, myself, I need food, I need to survive, I need to reproduce. So everything that an infant soul thinks or processes starts from what do I get out of this? So this sort of a way of looking at life is known to be an infant soul way of looking at life. When we progress from there, there's one more very interesting thing about this. When we are infant souls, it could be a 5-year-old boy on a street or a 60-year-old man in a bungalow. The physical body, the social strata doesn't really matter. It is the soul evolution, the soul consciousness which is at the lowest scale of evolution. From there, we move to baby soul level. Here we start understanding basic rules and regulations of life, do's and don'ts of life, rights and wrongs of life. Everything for a baby soul is in dualism. Everything is right, wrong, true, false, black, white. Baby souls do not understand grey. They only understand black and white. But they are a little higher than infant soul. So they understand structures. They think about community. They think about people around them, understanding them in relations, in position. Baby soul is somebody who feels very comfortable having a structure. So caste system, any sort of a structured hierarchy was created by a baby soul. So baby souls cannot really become leaders, they are followers. They follow. From there, we come to a young soul level. So young souls, to simply put it, are the ones who are driven by money, power and fame. They think what they see is the truth of life. So they pursue it. Everything that is physically available gives pleasure. If they have all of that in their life, they think life is perfect. So young souls, as the name denotes, are the ones who are absolutely success oriented, which is a very material, very visual success, comfort oriented, and they are very happy achieving physical material goals. They are driven by it. After that comes a mature soul state. Now this is one of the most important stages, because here you finally ask, why me? Why is this happening to me? So life sort of pushes you to a corner so that you ask questions. This is a transition stage for every soul from material to spiritual. And this stage can last for lifetimes or can be covered in a year or two also. It's completely really your wish. Mature soul state is one of the most turbulent ones. At the same time, it takes you to another level of your existence. It drives you to take a journey inwards, where you meet therapists, where you meet meditators. You want to learn Vipassana, you want to learn whatever it takes to understand and to get answers for your questions which are deep within. That is where you start an inward journey, and that takes you to a spiritual path of whichever kind that suits you the most. Spiritual path eventually takes you to an old soul state. Now, old soul state is a state where people sort of have seen past lives, have understood their journey as a soul, have realized so much has happened and so much is yet to happen. There's no point holding on to anything really, It's very important to be in the moment. It's very important to be in the now if I want to create life. Old soul realizes this fact, and the way we put out garbage, way we clean our house, clean our kitchen, we clean everything in our mind and let it go. That's how the old soul processes, because old soul realizes that if I want to create anything in the future, I have to be in the moment, and that too empty. So old soul practices meditation, which helps you become empty, which helps you be in the moment. And in that moment, the creation happens. Letting go of the past and not fretting over the future and being in the moment is something that old soul has largely adopted and practices. Another very important thing, I'll give you an example of this. Let's say that I have seen myself killing somebody in a past life. Here we are assuming hypothetically that past life exists. Okay, I have seen myself killing somebody in a past life. And when I was in the act, in my mind I was completely justified. Okay, I thought I was doing the right thing. But as Radhika, it is impossible for me to comprehend that I could kill somebody. It was unbelievable, right? Anybody who would see something like that done by themselves, would be like, how could I do that, right? But I did that. I was justified. If I could justify an act of murdering somebody, killing somebody in a different life altogether, but still killing someone, then everybody around me doing what they are doing in their mind is completely justified. They think they are doing the right thing. At that moment at least, they believe that that's the right thing to do, and that's why they do that. We all do what we do because we think that's right to do, right? So the point is that an old soul understands that judgment has to be dropped. Labeling has to be dropped. Being biased has to be dropped. Everything that makes me want to categorize, makes me want to judge, needs to be released. Because I cannot ever imagine what that other person is going through unless I live that life. I don't know the backstory of the person. I don't know their emotions, how they were raised as kids. I have no clue why they are doing what they are doing. It's always better to take a back seat and say, it's okay, let them be. Old soul is nothing but to realize that I have walked a path 100 miles and somebody else is walking a path who has reached 20th or 18th or 8th. I have crossed that. They will too, someday. So old soul drops judgment, accepts themselves first and others, so that life is easier, more comfortable, more light, and chooses to be in the moment. Then comes transcendental soul level. Transcendental soul level is a level where you want to spread the knowledge, you want to preach, you want to practice as well as preach. Much profound lessons like forgiveness, compassion, love, kindness. There's so many beautiful spiritual lessons that mankind needs to learn. And these souls, the transcendental souls, take birth only to teach that. Their interest in physical life, physicality is minimal because they know why they are here. They are here for a very specific purpose of spreading the message of the spiritual teachings that they want to. Also, they teach oneness. They tell us that there's no difference between a dog and a plant and an ant and a human. We are all those fragments of that soul energy, and the division is just illusion. Separation is just a myth. We are actually that one same energy in every single person. I give this example to my clients that you know how we put batteries in every different products, like sometimes in toys or clocks or some machine, and the battery is only giving you energy. The machine will behave like a machine. The battery will do a different job for a toy and for everything else that it goes into. So the battery's job is to give energy. The machine is completely different every time. Soul energy is like that. But the transcendental soul energy understands the battery, understands the life force, and chooses to only see that pure, infinite love, bliss, joy of the soul energy. That's the beauty of a transcendental soul. All the spiritual leaders or saints that we've had or we have are all transcendental souls. And then comes infinite soul. Infinite soul is the one who has finally completed the journey of the material life, the material experience of having a body, and is given a choice whether it wants to continue the drill of the physical cycle of life or wants to go back to the source energy. It's a choice. We call that moksha, salvation. Now here is a point where you can choose to go back to the source energy where you've come from, or come back and experience body life again. You want to come back? That's your choice. You want to leave? That's your choice. Body life ends here. Since we are energy beings, we will always live. We only transform. We cannot be destroyed. So the law of reincarnation says that we all come again and again and again and again till we reach infinite stage. And at that stage, you get a choice if you want to come back or no. Now, here is where law of karma kicks in.